What is going on, Raider Nation? Welcome back to the channel. And if you guys haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It is the best way to support this channel and help other Raider fans find Las Vegas Raiders content. So without further ado, we're going to jump straight into the material. And look, this whole narrative that the Las Vegas Raiders need a wide receiver too, we're going to talk about it. You know, in this offense, Devontae Adams, obviously coming over from Green Bay, #1 wide receiver in all of football. You got Hunter Renfrow in the slot, had over 1,000 yards last year. You've got probably the top 3 tight end in all of football. And when healthy, arguably he's tight end #1. In this offense, Devontae is going to get 100-plus targets, okay? Hunter Renfrow is going to get around those 60 to 70 range, and Darren Waller is going to be sub-80s, maybe even sub-90s in this offense. So you really have 3 top targets in this offense. So I want to kind of talk about this whole narrative about the wide receiver position too. And really, when you look at the Las Vegas Raiders and you really break things down by numbers and statistics, that wide receiver 2 spot is really looking like the wide receiver 3 to wide receiver 4 spot. You see, anybody that they plug on the outside isn't necessarily going to get all the burn in the world. They're not going to get wide receiver 2 targets because we already have 3 top elite targets in this offense already established, and they're going to get their reps. So what could that wide receiver 2 spot look like? Well, let me break down a few perspectives that could probably be what happens here this season in the 2022 season for the Las Vegas Raiders. You have Demarcus Robinson, okay? Big body guy who can stretch the field at times. You have a Tyron Johnson, who's an under-the-radar, my pick under the radar to actually make the roster with his ability to stretch the field and has more speed than majority of players on the roster. You got a Mack Hollins, who I don't really expect to make the roster, even with the Bryan Edwards release. A red zone guy, big body guy, possession type of receiver. You've got a Keelan Cole, who I expect to make the roster. This is an athletic guy who runs faster than his 4.5 40 time. He plays a lot faster than that, and who knows, right, what could have gone down at the combine when he ran his 40. There could have been injuries that we don't know about, undisclosed. Look, the kid plays faster than a 4.5 40 and is a really under-the-radar weapon for the Raiders. So does that #2 spot really need to be a notable name, 800 to 1,000-yard receiver? And I don't think so. I think this #2 spot on this roster could be a wide receiver by committee. I think that these players can all contribute and all give a part of this offense, and it can be a week-to-week matchup basis. One week you can have Demarcus Robinson out there, and even in the game, you can interchange these players. In the red zone, you can switch things up with Mack Hollins. You can put in Keelan Cole. You can go put in a Demarcus Robinson. You can put in a Tyron Johnson. Look, the door at the wide receiver 2 spot on this roster is actually endless. And that's what makes this offense very unique. Week to week, teams don't know how to scheme against you. They don't know what player is going to start. They don't know who's going to be the reps. So what does that make opposing teams do? It makes opposing teams have to study the entire depth chart of the Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver room. That means they have to take out time during the week to study Mack Hollins. They have to take time out of the week to study Tyron Johnson and what they like to do when he's in the game. What positions do they like to put him in? That means they have to scheme for Demarcus Robinson. That means they have to scheme for Keelan Cole. Meanwhile, you have 3 of the top targets in the National Football League at their given positions: Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, and as a slot receiver option, Hunter Renfrow. And that's not to mention all the running backs that we have. But the running backs are a different video for a different day. We're focusing on the wide receiver 2 narrative, and I want to know, Raider Nation, do you agree with this narrative that the wide receiver 2 role for the Las Vegas Raiders is actually more like a wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3, and you don't have to have somebody come in and be dominant? Now, with all of that being said, I do not believe that the Las Vegas Raiders are done adding talent to the wide receiver room. I do expect them to add bodies post June 1st. I do expect them to really be on the market when teams start making their roster cuts and contracts post June 1st that can save teams cap space. So be on the lookout and be on the lookout for this channel, because if the Las Vegas Raiders go and get a wide receiver, you're going to hear it here first. So Raider Nation, let me know down in the comment section, what do you guys think about this take? Do you like it? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Whatever your viewpoint may be, let me know down in the comment section below, and I will be glad to chop it up with you and hear your guys' perspective. As always, you guys know to subscribe to the channel, like it. It is the best way to support this channel, and I can't thank you guys enough. Much love, Raider Nation, and as always, just win, baby.